Hello, we are going to do a quick overview of getting started in Canvas quickly. This is Christy Borum. I am a customer success manager with Canvas in North Carolina, and I'm hoping to help you get started to deliver instruction and resources, learning activities for your students quickly if you've not used Canvas before. So this will definitely not include all things Canvas, but it should help you get started quickly. So first of all, I want to tell you how to log in, and then we're going to look at your Canvas dashboard, where to find your courses, talk about creating a few things, including modules, pages, assignments, and announcements, then adjusting some of your course settings and navigation for optimization, and then finally publishing your course. So to log into Canvas, you will go to my.ncedcloud.org and log in with your NC EdCloud credentials, and then you should click on the red Canvas icon. From there, you should see your dashboard. Your dashboard will look like the image below. It contains your favorited courses. You can remove, add courses there, but you should find the course that you're looking for on your dashboard. I'm going to show you on mine, so I would be on my dashboard. It's where it initially launches when I go into Canvas, and I see the course that I'm looking for. If for any reason you do not see your course listed there, then you can always navigate to the courses icon from your global navigation bar and look in this list. If there is, you still don't see the course, which is not probable, you should see your course both on the dashboard and in that course list. But just in case, if you don't see it, then you could scroll down to view all courses. So I'm going to go to courses, just like I was telling you. I'm going to scroll down to view all courses, and then click on all courses. From there, I should see all of my courses. I have a lot more than you probably have, but if you were not seeing your course previously on the dashboard or in your courses list, then it's probably listed somewhere here, and you would just need to make sure that the star was highlighted in order to see it then on the dashboard and in that initial course list. So you would just click on that star to make it available on your dashboard in the future. So you can find that course there and then jump, after you know that that star is highlighted, then you can jump straight into it. You also could have just, I'm going to go back to my dashboard and look back for that first period class that I was just on, and I could also just jump into it straight from my dashboard now. So we're going to talk first about how to add a module. So a module is the page that you land on when you open a brand new course. Modules can be seen as folders perhaps, or if you are dealing with a large binder, the whole modules page is the binder, and each individual module is a tab within the module. So for modules, you can add content. Students get previous and next buttons for content that's added to a module, and it's just a really useful tool, especially as you move forward with your Canvas course design. But just to get us started, we just want to create a brand new module. So we could either click here to create a new module, although this button is going to disappear after you have the first one. So I'm just going to click plus module because that's what I'm going to continue to do. Now for this just getting started, you may want to name your module according to the week. So if you are working on the week March 16th through 20th, you could name your module that way and add all resources for that week there. So I'm going to show you again to add a module. You would go to add module, and I'm going to name that. So let's say if I was creating one for the next week, then I could also do that, type the name in here, and then I'm going to add module. Again, I'm skipping over a lot of the different options and features you have just to get you started, but this starts creating that folder structure. So these are my folders. I don't have anything in my folders, but these are my folders, or these are my modules, okay? And so if you're following along the slide deck, there are some resources here for the next item that we're going to work on, and that is we're going to add some pages. All right, so when we think about pages, we think about all of the different types of things that you can add for students in terms of resources they are accessing and interacting with. So if they, it's not an assignment, but a page is a resource. So you can have notes, you can have videos, you can have images, you can have files, all kinds of things you can add to your pages. And pages work on a rich content editor, which is similar to the editing tool that you see in Google Docs or Microsoft Word. And that, again, allows you to embed video, images, change your font, change your bold, highlight, italicize things, add bulleted lists and tables. So as we get started with pages, you'll see what I'm talking about there. So there are some guides here, one specifically, how do I create a new page in a course, and then some additional guides on pages here if you need them. We're going to jump straight back to my course, and we're going to add a page. So when I'm working on March 16th through 20th, I'm going to add a page to this folder. So to add something to this module or this folder, then I just click that little plus sign there, and then I look at the different things that I can add. We're not going to go through every type today. I'm just going to go through adding a page and an assignment for you, but you can certainly explore the others on your own. So I'm just going to add a page, and I'm going to say new page, and for that new page, I might say March 16th notes and resources. So I'm going to, that's just naming that page. So it's going to add that page to my module, and then to add content to this page, I need to open it up, and I'm going to go to Edit. And then I can start. Again, this is the rich content editor, so I can use all of these tools to make my page look however I want it to look. If I wanted to add an image, I can do that. I can even just look for images. If I wanted to find an image to real quickly embed on my page, I can do that. So we'll just use this one. I can change the size of it if I want to, just to make it a little smaller, and then add that image. Then I can go down below and use, again, all these tools to start typing my resources and giving my students information. So I'm just real quickly, let's say that I wanted to link out to an article on Newsella. I would already have that pulled up, but let's just pretend that if I already had, I knew what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to access something on Newsella, then I could do that. So if this were the article that I wanted them to read, then I would get the link to that. And I would just continue telling them, tell them what to do, and I'm going to save and publish that. Nothing is ever visible until everything is published. So that's how you create a page, super simple. And then if I wanted to go back to my module, I could just go back to home, and I could begin adding additional content. So that is how you do a page, how you create a page in Canvas. Real quickly, we're also going to create an assignment. So you can do lots of things for assignments. Again, we're not going to go into all the bells and whistles, but just know that they can be graded, they can be ungraded, they can be marked as complete or incomplete. You can have group assignments, all kinds of things. You can have students submit assignments online, or you could set it up to be on paper, no submission. You can even have it make a copy of a Google Doc for students if you have one of those created. So not going to go through all the bells and whistles, but again, here are the Canvas guides that are linked if you need additional help. But we're going to go ahead and create an assignment. So I'm going to go back to my module because I'm still working on this, and I'm going to click here, And so just to show you that again, I clicked this plus button and I'm on, it automatically defaults to assignment, but remember if I wanted to add something else, I could just click there to choose what other type of item I wanted to add. In this case, it is an assignment. I'm going to click on new assignment and I'm going to say March 16th assignment. And I named that. And I'm going to it's added to my module. Notice that this is grayed out, so this is not available to students yet until I click on that. So now they can see it, but there's nothing there. Or I can unpublish it. Also, this module isn't published yet, so unless this module is published, they don't see anything. But once I publish that module, you just want to make sure these green checks are green. They're there for everything that you want students to see. But I'm going to go in and add the detail now to my March 16th assignment. So I open it up and I go to edit. Again, I'm going to type in what students are going to do here. Okay, so I can tell them what they're going to do. I can assign it a point value. For right now, don't worry about assignment groups. You can change how the grade is displayed, points, percentage, complete, incomplete, whatever you want to do. I could say this is either no submission, an on-paper submission if you're having students keep their work on paper. I could have it be online or an external tool. In this particular case, I'm going to have it be an external tool because I'm going to show you how you do a Google Doc that makes a copy for each student. So I'm going to do external tool, and then I go to find, and I'm going to look for Google Docs Cloud Assignment. When I click on that Google Docs Cloud Assignment, it may ask you to authorize it first. Just click yes if it asks you to authorize it. But then I'm able to look for items that I want to, if I have a Google Doc that I want my students to access, then I can say, this is what I want them to do. This is going to make a copy of that Google Doc for each of my students. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. Then after I do that, I hit select. I can choose who do I want to assign it to, whether it's everybody, individual students, or just one section of my class by choosing different options here. I can set a due date, so I could have that be due next Friday. And if I wanted to do available from and until dates, I could do that. If I had different due dates for different groups of students, then I could add here, and then you would see that I'd be able to choose who I wanted to change that due date for, and I would have different due dates for them. Not going to do that in this case, just going to save that. So for this assignment, now I've chosen that Google Doc, and my students know that they're going to get a copy of this document that they can modify for their own assignment submission. So when they open it up, it automatically makes a copy for them to submit to me in the course. And then I would actually see all of those by going to SpeedGrader. I mean, currently there's no students in the class, but I would be able to see all those by going to SpeedGrader on the right-hand side after students complete that work. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to show you how to add one more assignment type, just because not all of you may be using Google Docs and or want to do that as a first assignment. So to this module, I'm going to also add another assignment. We're going to go to assignment, new assignment. I'm going to say March 16th, assignment 2. You could name these whatever you want to. I'm just trying to, for students, to make it really easy for them to know what they have to do each day. I decided to name it that way. So I'm going to March 16th, assignment 2. Now I need to open that up so that I can edit it. And so I'm going to edit and type my directions here. And I could put all of my questions here. I could just type my questions for my students. Sorry about my spelling. Again, I want to make my point of assignments, do all of these things. And in this type, instead of no submission or external tool, I'm just going to say online. And then it's going to give me lots of different options. I can either let the students type in a text box directly in Canvas, which is what I'm going to do, or I could say website URL, a media recording if I wanted them to record their answers. They could use either video or audio or a file upload. Again, I'm going to do text entry. That gives them a box. I'm also going to go down here and I'm going to just, again, leave this assigned to everybody. I'm going to make it due again on the 20th, and then I'm going to save and publish. And so now I have a resource for my students telling them the article they're going to read, and I also have 2 assignments for them. And this is on this modules page, which is going to be our course homepage. So it's really easy for students to see what they're going to do in the course that day. I also want to talk to you about, oops, sorry, I lost my place here. I also want to talk to you about using announcements for a daily agenda. I'm going to show you again, there's some guides here on how to create an announcement. And we're going to go over into our course. And I'm going to go to announcements on the left-hand side. And I'm going to add an announcement. So this one's going to be every day. I'm going to tell my students what they have to do. And I could even link directly in here if I wanted to tell them that they're going to do this, then I could just click on over there. And on the assignments, I could even link in March 16th. And I can link in to March 16th, assignment 2. And that puts those directly in there. So to show you that again, I can say today you're going to read a Newsella article and complete 2 assignments. So I want to put that Newsella article in there first. So I just go over to the side under pages, because remember that was a page. I put that there. And then I can say for the assignments, I can drop those directly in there as well. So I tell them what they have to do today, add any additional information that they may need. And then I can decide, is it posting to everyone or just individual sections? If I had a file, I could choose that file here. If I want to schedule this for the next day, so let's say that I'm working ahead on next week, so I just want to schedule it to be released at 8 a.m. Next Monday, then I could do that. However, if I want to just post it right now, then I could just uncheck that box or not check it. I can allow users to comment or not, depending on whether or not you want them to comment to you. And it could allow these other things as well. But typically, we're just going to either use delay posting or allow users to comment and then save. So students can see that announcement once you publish your course. We haven't yet done that, so we got to get to that step last. But you can see in the announcements, and then also they have these resources in their module. So they can access it 2 ways, but the announcement's really nice because it tells them everything they have to do that day. One thing I'm going to show you how to do is adjust your settings so your announcements show up on your home page. All right, so we're going to first period in settings, and we're going to go to more options. So first period is my course. I'm going to go down to settings, and I'm going to more options, and then I'm going to see an opportunity to show recent announcements on the course homepage. I can change the number of announcements I want them to see. I'm going to leave it at 3 because I think that's pretty good if they see the last 3 days. So I'm going to show those recent announcements on homepage and update my course details. Once I update those course details, you see my recent announcements now at the top of my home page. One final thing that we're going to adjust before we publish our course and make it visible to students is we're going to go to settings again. And I'm going to go to navigation. When I go to navigation, see everything that I see over here on the side? That's a lot for our students. So I'm going to start dragging things down. Anything that I don't want them to just automatically click on or see, I'm going to drag down. They don't need to see most of these things on the sidebar, because if you add your assignments, your quizzes, your discussions, your pages, if you add all those things to your modules, then they don't need to access them separately over here. So I like to keep my kids just going to that home page typically, and so I will hide all of those other pages. I'm going to leave announcements. If you're going to use the course grade book, then I would leave the grades. If not, you can hide the grades, although they can see them in other places. Just know that that's not going to make them completely invisible, but you can hide the grades for now if you wanted to. I'm even going to hide assignments. I'm just leaving the home and announcements over here, so those are the only two places they're navigating to. So I'm going to go down and save it after I've customized that navigation bar, and now my students will only see the home and announcements. Now, as a teacher, I still see more, but see those, you can see that all these little icons where it shows it's not visible to students. I also can go over in my course and look at a student view. Now, students shouldn't be able to see anything yet because it's not published, but my test student can. All right, so my test student can see a recent announcement in that first module. Notice that the test student didn't see the second module because the second module isn't published yet. Because remember, I have to publish it for the students to see it. Also, I have to publish my course now. So I'm going to go over to the right-hand side. I'm going to select Publish. Now my students can see the course and they can interact with it. They can click on it, open up that recent announcement, read that announcement. They can go back home, or they could have jumped straight into those things directly, and they're going to be able to use these next buttons, previous and next. For my students, my test student does not have Google, so that's not going to work for him or her, but it would work for my other students. And I can't get down to my next, there we go, my next button because of the toolbar being in the way, but the students would continue seeing things. And when they need to submit assignments, they can certainly just submit. This is that text entry box, and the students just submit the assignments there. And I'm going to leave student view just to show you. Again, as the teacher, once students submit assignments, you're going to see those in SpeedGrader. So I can see what my students submitted, and I could scroll through different students here. I only have one student right now in the course, but I could scroll through or drop down and grade those assignments for the student also. So that's it. That's getting you started in Canvas. That's giving you an opportunity to go ahead and start pushing out resources and assignments for your students. And if you need additional support or help, we have our instructor guides, which are not only linked here, but they're also accessible from your global navigation bar help menu here. We have webinar recordings. These are 1-hour monthly recordings that you can access here. And you also have a training portal in your help menu that gives you lots of great videos, courses, playlists, pathways that you can participate in order to get additional Canvas training. So good luck to you, and thanks for stopping by.